Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of Wilmington, where we are empowered and transformed and grow day by day. Our celebration singers.
Just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place and at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning again. Thank you very much, celebration singers. We are all definitely welcome here. It's a great place to be, now and always. I'm Lacy Mauger. I'm your platform host for the day, and I'd like to welcome you to Unity of Wilmington, where we transform and empower and grow. It's a great place to be. Joining us in doing our service today, our main speaker will be Reverend Dr. Harris. Our music director, Katie Keese on the keyboard, Mitch Hebert on drums, Justin, his last name I forget, on the guitar. In the sound booth is ever faithful Christine. Yay. And our singer for the day is Meagan Golden, and you'll be hearing her golden tones shortly. We are here because that's why. There's only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. And from that, we have 3 affirmations which basically guide us through our day. Number 1 is that I am a beloved expression of God. And I am a gift for a holy purpose, and I am in the right place at the right time, right now. Now, Reverend Ellen will do our daily word, and Reverend Ellen is also our prayer chaplain, so you can see her after the service.
Thank you so much, Lacy, and welcome, everyone. So one of our new 2023 traditions is to read the daily word by the prayer ministry. And so if anybody does need prayer at the end of today, come see me. I will be in that room. So the Daily Word is available also outside. You're welcome to purchase a copy. It's only $3, but I will read today's Daily Word, and it is freedom. The divine presence within guides me to freedom. At times, I may feel hemmed in by the circumstances, limited by lack of opportunity, or faced with an unwelcome situation and no good choice. When that happens, I may feel anything but free. Rather than in despair, I find my freedom in God and the limitless expression of my divinity. Shifting my perspective from the limits of the world to the expanse and perfection of spirit, peace fills me. I relax and remember that no earthly trouble is greater or more enduring than God. I claim the power of God and feel a strength beyond mere human strength as, moment by moment, I release limiting beliefs and reclaim the power I had given to my problems. Spirit lives in me and as me. Truth is my freedom. Now the Lord is my spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Thank you.
Thank you. And creating order is something that I just got out of order. I forgot to welcome us. Anybody here for the first time this day? Please raise your hand. Welcome to Unity. Join us for coffee later and hope to see you next week. Anybody here for the second or third time? Welcome, welcome, welcome back. And for all of us who are here for the fourth and fifth and whatever time, I'm glad we're all here. Right now, I'd like to welcome our singer, Meagan Golden.
Grew up in a small town. When the rain would fall down, I'd just stare out my window, dreaming of what could be. And if I'd end up happy, I would pray, trying hard to reach out. But when I tried to speak out, it felt like no one could hear me. Wanted to belong here, but something felt so wrong here. So I pray I could break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Gotta make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun. But I won't forget all the ones that I love. I gotta take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Wanna feel the warm breeze, sleeping under palm tree, feel the rush of the ocean. Get on board a fast train, travel on a jet plane far away, and break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun. But I won't forget all the ones that I love. I gotta take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Buildings with 100 floors, swing around revolving doors. Maybe I don't know where they'll take
I got so much into the song, I almost forgot what we have to do today. Wow, that was really beautiful. There's nothing like music. Music makes the soul feel a certain kind of way. And just thank you. And Katie, the whole band, I mean, you all, woo, sound like you've been working on that for years. So that we can get centered and be prepared for our lesson today, we'll do our meditation to put us in the frame of reference, in the frame of mind to be open and receptive to our message. Today we are doing the boat meditation. So this, sit straight up in our seats, close your outer eyes, and open your inner eyes. Take a deep breath. And let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And today, I want us to see a beautiful sunny day just like today. And see your friends and family, the kids and everyone who's important to you. Move down to the river. And see the river, the water, smooth and calm. And see the sun beaming down on you and your loved ones. And in this space, we see your boat. Your boat there, tied to the dock. You see the boat rocking a bit in the gentle waters. And you and your family get into your boat, and you hoist the sail. Turn on the motor. You steer the ship away from the dock. As you move down the river, it may be the Cape Fear River, it may be the river of your dreams, and you're moving towards the island of your joy. And as you move down the river, everything is calm and the current is flowing with you. You smile and you fellowship with your friends and family. And as you move down toward the end, to the mouth of the river, and you see your joy, you see the island, you see that place that you find peace and comfort. And as the boat turns, there's a choppiness in the water. And the water begins to pull the boat in a different direction. But you turn on the engine and raise the level of the engine. You can hear the engine whining the way engines whine and pushing the boat toward the island of your joy. And even the winds may blow against that boat. And you have your loved ones reset the sails so that the winds move the boat, your boat, to the island of your joy. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. As you arrive upon the island of your joy, you, your family, your loved ones have faced the storm, have faced the choppy waters to be one with those things, with those people, with an island that loves you. And in this consciousness of peace and relaxation on your island, we are open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let's affirm together. I am open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. Give yourselves a hand. Wow. I'm not a boat person, but I was enjoying that trip. And you know, Fran, you live near the water. That was my vision, to see the Cape Fear River. If you ever go down to the river walk, and you see the water there, and I was just thinking, Alan, you live right there. You see the river every day. But I was enjoying that trip. So, let me come back. Let me do something right at the beginning that I think is important. I feel like a magician. This is an apple. And this is a knife. And we're going to cut this apple, and hopefully fairly pretty good. And so now we have these two halves of the apple. Let's just focus on that for a little bit. And we're going to put them there as we share our message for today. So don't forget what's on the apple. Those of you online, you may want to get an apple of your own and start to work with it. So first, thank you so much for the music, for the vibration, and for your presence. And thank the board, all the staff. We have an incredible group of volunteers and people who make this thing work. I mean, the singers that y'all are getting, I see you all are really loving it. Yeah. And so thank you for our prayer ministry, Ellen, you and Teresa, and the whole prayer team, I think, has really created a vibration of prayer and healing here. That when you walk in the room, don't you notice that when you walk in this room, you feel a little differently? Yeah. And so today, I'd like to continue our journey for the month of January. And I'd like for us to kind of get into that feeling of how we receive our message. And I know that everybody feels great today, but let us affirm that. How do you feel today? All right, I love it. Let's do an affirmation. I feel great today together. I feel great today. Wow. Man, you all are ahead of me. Thank you. I have an affirmation I'd love for us to share, and it says, today is a great day for living, sharing, and being alive. Let's do that together. Today is a great day for living, sharing, and being alive. So in this vibration, we'll look into our lesson today. As we always know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I give some biblical references, and the point is that we refer to the Bible and all of really the spiritual texts, the really spiritual tools for us to get an understanding of how things work. Our topic for today is your power of change. Change is an awesome weapon. It's an awesome tool, you know. Change can be positive or negative. Think about this. The same knife that we use to cut the apple can be used to hurt someone. And so change is about how do you transform your life from what it is to what you want it to be. Albert Einstein said, the world as we have created it, that's an interesting way. The world as we have created it is a product of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. And so that really sets us up. We're now at the beginning of the year, and I picked this topic because most of us have a desire for this year to be a better year. Would you agree? Yes. Yeah. I mean, I want this year to be outrageously great. You know, where all good things come to us, and the things that you want to do, be, and have, good health, all those things come straight to us this year. That's the kind of year this is going to be. And so as we move into this new year, there are two very personal commitments. Number one, leave the past behind. Sometimes that's hard. Sometimes the past is like an anchor on that boat. You know, if we left the anchor down, we'd still be sitting there. As a matter of fact, Alan used to own a boat. If you leave the anchor, you ain't going nowhere. And so leave the past behind. We must release the past like a canceled check. Release the past. Let's say that together. Release the past. Let's personalize it. Release my past. Together. Release my past. Let me tell you something, folks. If there's one big thing to do this year that will transform us, releasing the past. The second commitment is to embrace the future by creating it. Embrace the future by creating it. We have the ability to create the future based on our thoughts, based on our feelings, based on our emotions, our habits, and our relationships. So, we can learn from the past, but we must embrace the future. And so, let us say together, create my future. Together. Create my future. Whose future? My future. And that's what we can do. Isn't this going to be a great year that we can create our future, create this year exactly the way we want it to be? Earl Nightingale said, we become what we think about most of the time. So from this day forward, this year, let's just think about good things, positive things, healthy things, beautiful things. You know, we have a New Year for the New Year home study course. And one of the things that we try to help people through is to help them assess where they are, address the things that need changing, set new goals and make new plans, and then stick to it until it's done. Of course, we always use our book. A lot of this is in the 12 Universal Laws of Success. And I keep holding this up because when we were writing this book, I wasn't the one that created it. I just wrote it down. The Spirit was giving me thoughts. But when we do this, when we've shared this book, the chapter on change is one that people keep coming back and they're saying, it's got to be more difficult, more challenging than that. But it isn't, because change is very natural. When we think about change, we have the ability to plug into the universe. You know, we always talk about in unity about alignment. And when we are aligned with the universal consciousness, then everything works better. So when we look at the universal consciousness, three of the basic concepts of the universe are order, time, and change. Order, time, and change. Let's say that together. Order, time, and change. Order embodies the physical laws, the spiritual laws, the universal principles. Order says to us, seek and you shall find. You know, that biblical principle is so profound because it's absolutely true. You know, when the Indians, someone was watching the Indian rain dance, and they said, well, how does dancing make it rain? What do you do? What's the secret? And they said, we dance until it rains. And so when we seek until you find. You know, it never tells you how long. You got to seek for 2 months, and if you don't get it by then, throw in the towel. So order, these spiritual principles really transform us. Seeking we can find. Knocking it shall be opened. Asking you receive. Time. The interesting thing about time is that in God consciousness, there's no time. Otherwise, there'd be a time when God did not exist. So God consciousness is total. There's only now in God consciousness. Time is for us. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So we have to have a construct of time so that we can understand how we move from our initial transition when we were born to the final transition when we move to the next level. And so time is really for us. But God has given that time to us as a gift to see what we do with it. And so time is critical. The other piece is change. Change is the process of making things different. The essence of the whole principle is growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. Just the fact that you're alive, you keep growing. And so change is a fundamental aspect of faith because growth requires constant change. And so our purpose in life is really to grow, to go and grow. And really, on a bigger scale, it's really to grow into our purpose. Think about this. We were created for a purpose. We were created for a divine purpose. And so this journey through life is really about figuring out what we are put here to do. Sandra's sitting here. Please give Sandra a hand. She's been under the weather, and she's feeling good today. Honey, we were like prayed up, and like she said, I'm going to be here, take a deep breath, meditate. We did the car meditation. So thank you, dear. So this process of growth is really about learning, practicing, mastering the process for change. It's about managed change. You know, there's a whole thing in corporate America about how do you manage change, how do you manage growth. Well, in our lives, we have to imagine change, we have to image change, and we have to facilitate change. Each of us is like that boat on the river of time. And in the boat that is who we are, there are four things. There's a rudder. And the rudder is your value system, with your sense of right and wrong. And so as you go through life, your rudder will guide you. You know, a thief or a liar, their rudder takes them a certain place. But a person who's truthful and trustworthy, their rudder takes them someplace else. I had an uncle, and I guess it's all relative. Well, Uncle Ben, he's a lawyer. That doesn't speak much for character, I guess, either, right? These days, being a lawyer, whew. One thing, if you get to heaven, if there's a heaven, and I'm sure there is, and you get there, you would definitely not see any lawyers. But Uncle Benny used to have a saying. He said, you know, if somebody tells you that Benny Sneed stole $100,000, he said, you call him a lie. He wouldn't do that. But he says, somebody tell you Benny Sneed stole $100 million, he says, Sneed might have done that. So the idea is, the rudder is really about your value system, and no matter what, it shouldn't be dependent on how much or when or where. It's like these are your core values. You have your engine, and the engine is that thing that keeps you moving when everything else stops. On that ship, on that boat to our joyful island, when the waters are calm, the boat's going to go where the current wants to take it. And so your engine is your desire. That thing gives you the power to go against the grain. So when everybody else is going left and you know that's not the right thing to do, your engine, your desire gives you the power to go right. The greater your desire, the greater you are able to go against the grain. When you're in that boat of life and the waves are choppy and all kinds of negative stuff that's going, it's your desire that keeps you moving on. You also have a crew. And now the crew, hopefully it's your family. I guess we're always born into a crew because we're born into a family. And if your crew's working with you, then all is well. But if your crew is working against you, it undermines your abilities, your capabilities. The mastermind principle works positively or negatively. Two or more minds gathered on one accord, the I am principle manifests power. 1 + 1 is more than 2. But two or more minds gathered on different accords, well, we just saw that play out in our politics. Two or more minds on different accords creates confusion. And finally, the sails. The sails on our boat represent our attitude. And so when the winds of change blow, the same winds that blow on one person may blow their ship over on another, it becomes the wind beneath their sails. And so your attitude can change everything by how you see it, how you relate to it. And so it is on this ship, this boat. And the question is, how do I navigate my boat to get where I want to go? How do I navigate my boat on the river of time that flows into the sea of eternity to get the things I want in my life? Would you agree? Isn't that really what this year is about? What do I have to do to change it and make it exactly the way I want it to be? The key is this. The laws of transformation. The first law of success, this is from Proverbs, the 23rd, I think, and 8th chapter, and it says, a mind shall have whatsoever it thinks in its heart. So our thinking, our thoughts determine our direction. The second law of success says, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's the power. Because whatever's going on in your life right now, you don't have to stay stuck. Whatever's happening in your life right now, you can transform it by changing your thinking. And that's the Romans 12th chapter, 2nd verse. So over this year, we want to create a new reality. We want to create a new life. I mean, next year when we have this service, everybody's going to be saying, we're going to have a service of all the good things that happened to me this year. And everybody's going to come up and just share all the good things that happened. We'll probably be here all week. Because so many good things are going to happen to us over this next year. It's amazing. So how do we make this change? What's this process for making change? Change really embodies three aspects. Number one, faith, choice, and desire. Faith that there's something better for us. That whatever your condition is right now, that there's something better for us. Hebrews 1st chapter, 11th chapter, 1st verse, it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So faith can take you from where you are to where you want to be. There's an Arabian proverb, and it says, he who has hope has health. He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. So faith, the substance of things hoped for, means that no matter what your condition right now, you can transform your life. You don't have to stay stuck. There's a story of a traveler coming down the highway, and there's an old man sitting in a rocking chair on the porch, and there's a dog, and the dog is whimpering and whining. And the traveler walks over and he says to the old man, well, what's wrong with the dog? Why is he whimpering? He said, because the dog is sitting on a nail. He said, well, wow, why doesn't the dog get off the nail? He said, because it doesn't hurt badly enough. And so in our lives, what nails are we sitting on? What relationships are we in that just, we know they're not good for us? It might not be abusive, but it sure is not conducive to change. That might be a nail. When are you going to get off it? It might be an addiction. You know, that we have so much talk about the fentanyl, and, you know, Wilmington seems to be the center of all of that. But if that's the nail you're sitting on, when are you going to get off of it? It might be depression. We may be depressed, distressed, in a mess. But when are we going to say it hurts badly enough for us to get up and change? So everyone here today, I really would love for you to make a commitment that whatever nail you're sitting on, I'm getting off that nail. Let's say that together. I'm getting off that nail. The second aspect of change is choice. That once you decide to get off that nail, once you realize that you're on a nail, you have to choose to get off it. That choice is powerful. Joshua 24th chapter, 15th verse says, choose this day whom you will serve. You can choose to stay on the nail or choose to get off it. If you want to create the life of your dreams, you got to choose to get off that nail. And then do so. Desire. Desire is the key. Because the natural process of growth is a certain period of, you might say, peace and quiet. Then there's a challenge. Then you have to overcome the challenge. Then you achieve another level of peace and quiet. And so this idea, this growth process says that desire is the thing that helps you face the choppy waters. Desire is the thing that helps you move to another level. You know, one of the things that helps your desire is education. That's why this church is so important, this ministry. Because you can only desire is tied in with your level of consciousness. There's an African proverb that says that the boy who has never left home thinks his mother's the best cook. So education and exposure, and so everybody in here, this is a teaching ministry, and that's why even reading the daily word is so powerful. And the teaching ministry, the more you know, the more you can grow. So we make that commitment to grow each and every day, and the question always arises, well, why don't people grow? Why don't people change? If it's this simple, why doesn't everybody be like, whoopee, I'm on, it's on, we're having a great day? And the main reason is fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It may be fear of failure. Fear of failure keeps you from trying. Fear of failure makes you find excuses for failing. You know, I mean, it's interesting. We make an emotional decision and then defend it rationally. You know, we say, well, you know, I'm broke. Okay, now, I don't like it, but that's the way it is. You know, everybody in my neighborhood's broke, so I feel good about it. Overcome that fear of failure by really realizing that failure is just a dress rehearsal for success. To fail proves that you're trying. If you're not failing at anything, you're not doing anything, frankly. You're not trying. The fear of criticism. You know, the interesting thing about criticism is it always comes from somebody you care about. You know, if somebody came in the door right now and just opened the door and said, Herbert Harris, you don't know nothing, I wouldn't care. He doesn't know me, you don't know him. But if my good friend, my brother, my relative says, man, you don't know nothing, you're a failure, you're a loser, it hits you right in the heart, doesn't it? Fear of change. Many of us are afraid of change, afraid of the unknown. That's why the education is so important. When you know more, you can do more. When you know more, you can see more. That fear of change is something that this ministry can help you overcome, because one of our basic tenets is that we are aligned with the consciousness of God. And so when we can understand that we are the created being, created by an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving God, then no matter what's going on in our life, we'll be like the prodigal son. I might be in the pig pens of life, but I know I got a Father who has everything I need, and I can go to him. So this is a transformative mindset that you are a special person. And no matter what's going on around you, it does not define you. And then finally, there's a fear of connection. Woo! You know, it's amazing. This pandemic has made people almost afraid of each other. We've lost remember the time when we couldn't come to church? It just ain't the same sitting, you know, watching it on the computer. You don't get that feeling. And so there's that fear of connection that often manifests as distrust, but we have to trust our inner voice. Our inner voice always tells us who we're dealing with, and then we act accordingly. And so finally, how do we implement this change, this power of change? Number one, to realize that there's always something better. That no matter how dark the night, no matter how bad it is, there's always something better waiting for you. Number two, to realize that we are created complete. That we have everything we need to get everything we want. It's just our thinking that makes us experience lack and limitation. To realize that we are created for a purpose, a divine purpose, that God does not make junk. Everything in the universe has a purpose, and our whole life is about finding that purpose. And that change will lead us to that purpose. And so, let me wrap up. Number one, leave the past behind. Can we do that? Yes. Okay. Number two, create the future. Can we do that? Yes. Realize that the universe operates through order, time, and change. And change is the foundation for growth. To realize that we can use our affirmative power of change to create the life we desire by having faith that there's something better for us, by making right choices, and by having a desire that's so deep that nothing can stop us. If we overcome that fear of change by overcoming the fear of failure, overcoming the fear of criticism, overcoming the fear of change itself, and overcoming the fear of connection, realizing that we are part of the universal creation and that we can align ourselves with the good, with the God, with our purpose for being. So now to wrap up, you can use this power of change to move forward each and every day, knowing that the best is yet to come. So let us stand and close out together. Woo! I hope this was helpful today. Thank you. So, repeat after me. I have the power to change my life.
I have the power to change my life.
I choose to change.
I choose to change.
My desire for change is deep.
My desire to change is deep.
And I already have everything I need to get everything I want.
And I already have everything I need to get everything I want.
And knowing that, we know that we can be what we want to be, do what we want to do, and have anything we desire, always knowing what? The best is yet to come. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, if you remember, we talk about change. If you remember, when we cut this apple, it was nice and white. And in just this short time, it has changed. Isn't that amazing? And so change can transform us from what we are to what we want to be. But change will happen whether we use it or not. And so it is. All right. Thank you so much. Let me get back to our schedule. It is time now to collect. Those of you online, it is time now to go to, what is that, Zelle, Zoom, whatever that thing is, to go to our website. And I say to you online, give generously, because you can see what's happening here at this church. Good things are happening. And when you're in Wilmington, please come and join us. And so we're going to, and I ask that you give generously, that you share generously, and that you become a critical part of this ministry. So let it be. Yes. Oh, yes, we have some music. Okay. All right. Here we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Wow. Now the music. I have fun here.
Don't know much about your life. Don't know much about your world, but don't wanna be alone tonight on this planet they call Earth. You don't know about my past, and I don't have a future figured out. And maybe this is going too fast, and maybe meant to last. But what do you say to taking chances? What do you say to jumping off the edge? Never knowing if there's solid ground below, or a hand to hold, or held to pay. What do you say? What do you say? I just wanna start again. Maybe you could show me how to try, and maybe you could let me in somewhere underneath your skin. But what do you say to taking chances? What do you say to jumping off the edge? Never knowing if there's solid ground below, or a hand to hold, or held to pay. What do you say? What do you say? And I have my heart beating down, but I always come back for more, yeah. 'Cause there's nothing like love to pull you up when you're lying down on the floor, yeah. So talk to me like you do. Yeah, walk with me like you do, like you do. But what do you say to taking chances? What do you say to jumping off the edge? Never knowing if there's solid ground below, or a hand to hold, or held to pay. What do you say? What do you say? Don't know much about your life. Don't know much about your world.
Wow. We bless the offering. That was, thank you so much. Woo, I just love it. Thank you so much. We give thanks for this offering. Thank each and every heart, each and every mind that contributed. We know that this offering will help build and uplift this church, and it will be a never-ending cycle of love, increase, enjoyment, and abundance. And in that name and in that vibration, we say, thank you, Father. Amen.
And now we are almost at the end, not quite, but it's announcement time. Our unity is based on prayer and meditation, and our prayer chaplain for today is Reverend Ellen, who will be happy to meet with you over in this corner if you would like to have her join you in prayer. And today is Super Sunday. As you go out the doors into Fellowship Hall, you'll see there's all kinds of goodies and soups and hot stuff, because it's chilly in there this morning. Come and join us for our fellowship. The other thing is that kirtan, which is our meditation music process, And meditation will be here next Sunday, led by Maida, I believe her name is. She's drumming and chanting, and it's quite a lovely experience. And that's right after the service on next Sunday. The other thing is our prayer team is having a Meditation Wednesday process starting January the 18th from 7 to 8 o'clock. It'll be on every Wednesday of the month, and it will be a time to get this straight. What did I say? I'm sorry, I lie. We're starting out with the third Wednesday of every month. We are working up to big stuff. This month, on the 18th, Reverend Ellen will be leading the prayer and meditation service, and we invite you all to join us as she guides us through new beginnings. Having said that, we invite you to volunteer for our hospitality and greeter service. Gail is in the back. She is our head of volunteers right now. She is looking to have people get us through each week, to participate with some food, to participate in welcoming people and joining us in our endeavors. And having said that, I now invite Reverend Harris back to close us out.
I want to also ask prayers and blessings. You know, Myron's mother passed, made her transition. And so just send out prayers and blessings and upliftment to keep him in the center of our hearts in his time of need. All right, we have our singers, and we're going to do our benediction. Our singers, we're going to close us out. Yes. All right. I'm going to stand over here because if I start singing, the Lord may be very upset.
Prayer for protection.
Here we go.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So it is. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united.